All right, I'm doing a video for you guys, not for me, so it's not going to be the best video. But what I am doing is a couple of things. Let's start with the easy explanation. This chrome drives me crazy. It's cloudy out right now, and you can kind of see my reflection in there. I mean, I can see my face in there when I'm alone. It's that shiny. If the sun is coming down, and believe me, it hits this all the time, it blinds me to death. Same thing with this. So I'm going to be vinyl wrapping that. But my extra motivation here is I will be installing this trim piece to replace this back trim piece. You guys probably already know where I'm going. I just wanted to do a before and after. And I'm going to be putting on the M1 and M2 buttons on here. I'm going to show you how that works. This is a M304i, so the sport mode down here would change it from, what is it? Not comfort, but sports individual to sports plus. So a lot of people are wondering if these buttons would still engage Sport Plus, because most of the videos on the internet aren't on an M series car. They're usually on something else, so they don't even have the Sports Plus. So I'm just going to show you before and after. And I think that's about it. I'm not going to give you guys any directions on how to take off the airbag and do all that other stuff. That's in plenty of other videos that you can find on the internet. I'm just going to show you on the M340i before and after. I did say I wasn't going to do any like how-to stuff, but it took me less than 30 seconds to get the airbag thing off. I did watch some videos on it. Maybe I can show you. Some of the videos don't show you. So there is a hole. It's marked where to puncture it. I already punctured it. You'll never know what's there. Nobody driving with you will ever see it. But again, I'm not going to do a great video. I just want to show you. So once you puncture it in there, you're actually pushing it in here. I should show you better. So you puncture it in the flat way, and then you turn it the other way, and then once it's inside, you're just pushing that bar over, and it popped out. Whoops, I'm watching me and not the video. So you push it in this groove here. It lined up perfectly. It went right in there. I didn't have to do any finagling on both sides, and you just push that. It releases one side, and you do the same thing to the other. It was a piece of cake. All right, one more thing in my unprofessional video. It's going to show you the wrap that I chose, the vinyl wrap. There's the label. I've never vinyl wrapped before, but I'm confident I can do it. So that's the stuff I'm using. It's gunmetal. I think it'll still fit with the car. Let's see if I can get a view of without the wrapper on it. And it's kind of hard to pick up in a video, but you can see it's not going to blind me when I'm driving down the road. That's really what I care about. I mean, obviously looks are a bonus, but I'm not going for looks, I'm going for functionality. The other thing I'd like to say is, while this switch is in this position, I had a real hard time getting these open. So you actually want to pry with a very tiny screwdriver on this edge and just push down a couple times to get it out. There was no video that I could find that really explained it, and I was actually pushing on the wrong area. I thought we had to go up in this area. That is not correct. You have to push on this side, on the top and down, and wedge out. And it came out after two flicks, but it still was not easy, and that'll be a challenge for you. So I've come to a point where I'm really struggling. There's 3 screws that use, I think it's an M20, so 2 of them are behind the paddles, super easy to find to get this loose. There's one here that everybody keeps telling me is here, and there is no hole in the back of the steering wheel. All right, I was wrong about there being a screw down here. I'm glad I didn't start drilling any holes. There's actually a clip, and this was glued in. I really struggled getting this loose. I don't know if there was an issue with this before, or if this is factory, if this was all glued in, but that was not fun. Maybe I can get a better look of this clip after I get this steering wheel off. So I will disconnect the wires and take a look at it. Here's what that joint looked like. Just squeezes into this little hole here, and quite a bit of glue in there. So it was also fun getting this little connector out for my heated steering wheel, but I pried a small flat screwdriver in there and it popped out right away. But I feel like I got lucky. It's got to go on these clips, and it came out. So you're gonna have fun with that one. This one I don't think was clipped on by anything. I just pulled it out. I didn't really have anything that I had to unclip, but be careful when you do that. You know, you're listening to some oddball guy on the internet, so who knows if I got lucky with that one too. There's a little bit of a positive material there that might have been grabbing, but not much. It came out real easy. So this video is just for myself. I'm going to be trying to remember where all the wiring and everything goes. And now I have record of it, so I can put it back where it belongs. Hopefully I don't include this in your video. So as you can see, this comes apart pretty easily. Nothing you can't figure out. I was hoping the black and the silver separated somehow. I haven't really messed with that, but I think I can vinyl wrap this now. My first attempt at vinyl wrapping. Before I forget, I ordered what the guy I copied off the internet is the 1080. I have no idea what these numbers mean. But the backside clearly says the 280 series, so I don't know if you're trying to copy me, which I don't know why you would. That's what I'm using. All right. I just kind of wanted to show you the difference between the flash. I mean, you can kind of see how bright the bottom one is compared to the top new one. It's not perfect, meaning it looks perfect from this side, but I don't know, the video I've been watching, they say they never show you the back side. Oh, I don't want to take it out of there. But you can kind of see it's not pretty on the back side, but every corner that's visible is turning out great. So okay, I gotta add this. I couldn't find this anywhere on the internet. People were showing how you had to, if you're watching the videos I watched, you'll know why I'm stopping here. These things hold into these clips down here like a mother. And the videos I watch, it takes everybody like a bunch of time to do it, or they don't show how they do it. And the one that I'm watching, he just kind of forced it open. You're supposed to go in from the front side and push right on this tab to pop it out. And I don't even know how they're holding them, to be honest. Unless whatever was holding them fell down. I don't think it did. I don't understand where the friction's coming on that. But it was a mofo to get that out. I guess I can just kind of give you an orientation about where it lays. You know, so when you're trying to push your screwdriver in. If I really loved you, I'd get a tape measure out, but I'm pretty destined to get this thing done tonight. Right from the, there we go. I mean, another thumb over. And I'll measure my thumb later. Talk to you later. All right, sorry it's at night, lighting is poor, but now I can see what was holding these, the friction part. So the what do you call it, the mail tab that sticks out, points forward towards the front of the car. So you do want to come in from the front and push these in. I actually came in from the side with a screwdriver and pulled it out because after trying 100 times, I couldn't figure this out. So, I guess I do love you guys. So, there's where your tabs are. I'm going to look for myself. If I was measuring, I would say that center tab is, I can't do the 2 3/4 inches is where you want to push your screwdriver in. And also at just under 5 inches from, and I have this orientated the same way. I guess I'll show that after I'm done here. You guys are lucky. I love you. From this side, it's 3 inches. My phone is not lined up, so I'm right on the edge. And now you can't look with me, but it's 3 inches, even though the orientation of my tape measure to my phone. I'm gonna look again without you guys. It's 3 inches. It's looking like it's just shy of 3 inches. That gets you close enough. If you guys would have had this information for me, here now I'm straight on. So, you know, it's 3 inches. You guys don't really need to know from center, do you? From each other, it's just over 2 inches. You guys get it. See if I can show you from here in this great lighting. So from that side, it's about just a little over 3 inches from one side. Jeez, it's gonna be a great video, but it'll help somebody out. And then again, 2 3/4 inches from this side, and that'll pop those out without breaking them. I swear the guy that I watched that I'll recommend to you guys broke his, or maybe he didn't, but he just used muscle power. So overall, it's pretty easy install. I left the airbag loose, and I didn't screw this down before I hooked up the battery. Everything worked out great. All right, so things got a little messed up. I'm going to refer you to a video, but the wiring harnesses were completely different. In a small bag, I received 2 fittings that will eventually go together. Bear with me here. So you're going to learn how to take this apart from somebody else. You're going to pull this out of there, this out of there indirectly. There's a housing that you'll see later, but that's not why I'm here. So you see where this white wire is. It is third in from the, it goes red, brown, and blue, and then white. You remove that wire, which I did, even though it looks like it's in. I removed it from the original harness, stuck it into one end here, in the mating end. So this is the OEM wire. This is the Infinite Auto wire. This is a male end. I think they call it a female end in their instructions, but regardless, these two connect together. I'm assuming you're just pulling power from there, and then the non-OEM white would go and replace that. Pretty simple, actually. I was a little upset I didn't get instructions. It looked like I had an open box, but it was resealed with their tape, so I'm fine with that. I'm not that picky. But it didn't have instructions, so they emailed me like instantly. It's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and I called and cried, and they emailed me like instantly. So that's kudos to them for getting to me right away. I didn't think I was going to have a car for tomorrow. So that's the wiring, super easy. There's this is, you know, an antenna, and I'll find a place to stick that in somewhere. But all right, we'll throw this together and talk to you later. All right, I've got the buttons installed. So some questions I had, and I've seen other people ask, is, so you have the M1 and the M2 buttons. Now these don't work the way I understand, like they would in an M3 and an M5. You can use these as presets, I think. But all it does is the same thing as this button. So the sport and the comfort button, I didn't know if these would still work after the install, and they do. So I'm just doing the old stuff. I'm just hitting sport, sport plus, sports individual. So I guess I never really thought about it, but this button here only does that. It won't put it back into comfort once you're out of comfort. It just keeps rifling through. You guys probably do that. So that's what the M1 button does. So when a car starts, you're in comfort, and the M1 button shuffles those same things through. Then this button would only go through eco. I think it'll, you know, those modes down there. But there's a way to go back into comfort, though. I think if I hit this one now, it'll go to comfort and start over. And then I would go back to, let's just do something here while we're thinking out loud. So I was in Sports Plus. Let's just say I went to Eco or to Comfort. You know, let's see if it goes back to Sports Plus or starts over. So Sports Plus. So exactly like the buttons were before. Whatever you were in last is what it goes into. Unfortunately, it still works like the other buttons. So I can't go up and down. Like I can't go right back to Sport. I have to cycle through. And I don't know what you guys do for your sports individual, but my sports individual is comfort mode, with the exception that because it's technically sport mode, I have all the comfort settings and it won't shut off at intersections. So I think that's the best way to use sports individual. I'm sure you guys probably have some better ways, but that's what I do. The other thing I noticed, if you hit real fast, like let's say I want to get back to sport without going to sport individual. Let's go to Sports Plus. And let's just say I want to go back to sport. So I'm going to have to go to sports individual and then sport. So that's excuse me, that's 2 clicks. If I hit it real fast, it just takes it as 1. So you really have to pump it twice. So if you're a video gamer and you can click real fast, it's just gonna take it as 1 entry. Now, I did pay up for the OEM feel. It has a good spring back, I would say. It's not as clicky as a paddle, you hear that. So, but it's definitely a good feel. It's got some good spring back. That's kind of what they're saying. It wouldn't feel like a true M3, M5. I don't know. I paid double for this. Does it make a difference? I don't know, but they're kind of, they look like a nice anodized look, but I don't think they are. I think it's like almost like a shrink wrap on there, but they're very high quality. I have no complaints. They go in, they aren't adjustable, so they sit just like I would like them to. Very happy with it. There was some wiring. The wiring was really easy. Getting some of the stuff off was pretty difficult, so I'm sure I'll add that into the video. But I'm kind of waiting for the sun to come out because I did a chrome delete on the steering wheel. This is just a wrapping, and it looks like the sun's out, but I'm not gonna show. It's half cloudy. So like if you see here, even in the half cloud, that was in my face off of here constantly. I'm getting no glare. Like now I'm actually noticing how shiny this button is compared to this. So I didn't do the a carbon wrap. You could do carbon fiber. I feel like that's like too much black, and a lot of carbon fiber wraps, vinyl wraps, are shiny. I know you could get like a satin carbon wrap if you wanted to. This is what I wanted. So I was tempted to get carbon fiber panels, but it's pretty easy to get this off. If I want to get back in there and change those, that would probably take me 10 minutes to change my paddles now. This was frustrating for me to do the vinyl wrap. Frustrating because it took me probably a good hour, and I have an attention span of about 5 minutes. So I was rushing. I was just punting on some of these corners, and they turned out great. I mean, there's a couple flaws down here that if you don't know them, you'll never find them. I know because I did it, but all the corners are hidden, and I mean, it looks great. There's nothing showing. So where I messed up on this is I didn't want to expose this button. It's kind of cheesy for an M badge, but I mean, I don't mind it. But I wasn't going to cut this out. I tried to heat it with an air gun and smush it down flat, and I bubbled it. Like literally it bubbled. Thank goodness I didn't do it here. So I just traced it with a razor and popped it out, and I'm just hoping that stays and never pulls back, which I don't know why it would. I didn't use any primer. I just wiped it all down with isopropyl alcohol. There are primers for vinyls that you'll see in the videos I link, but I'm very happy. I'm gonna wait for the sun to come out. Actually, it's kind of come out now. I'm wondering if I can get this thing into the sun a little more, just so you can see how there is no glare coming off of this anymore. I'm very happy. I mean, that would blind me before. What I was doing when I was driving down the road is I was actually like trying to cover my steering wheel when I was driving. Now, maybe I'm a little more sensitive than most people, but yeah, you could get some really dark sunglasses, but then it's hard for me to do emails and play on my phone while I'm driving, so there's that. All right, this video is way longer than I thought it was going to be, so we'll just end it there. All right, there's one thing else that we talked about that I wanted to put in here, the presets that people use. So my presets, I'll just start with number 1. That takes me right to my ambient lighting, so I can turn it off or change the color immediately. So I like that there. Number 2, I tried to set for my home, so I could just hit it and it would take me home on my navigation. That doesn't work, and I've seen other people do it, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Number 3, I tried to also do for navigation. It takes me to radio, and I never listen to radio. I accidentally hit the button before. That's why it's on right now. When I say never listen to radio, I listen to podcasts and music from my phone, not live radio. 4 is night vision. So as you can tell, I must be light sensitive because I did the chrome delete here. I can see so much better when I have no lights inside my cockpit. I drive in a country a lot where there's no lit roads, so any warning advanced I can get that I see an animal, the better. So I'll turn that off on nights that I'm feeling that way. 5 is to the sports displays, which is pretty cool, or show off type thing. Then I ran out of things to do, so I just did something that looked cool for other people that are in the car. And 8 will take these from individual to separate. So if I'm driving alone and I just want to make it all one, I just hit that button, and vice versa. So that's what I use my presets. You got any great suggestions, let me know.